Now here is the moment of truth. How long are they? Place your bets. They say 7.350. And all the comments say they're bigger by like 14 to 16 thousandths. 7.371. My guess was right. Yeah. I made the right call. I feel vindicated. All those hours of just freaking confusion and stress. Back and forth, 30 times a minute. Changing my mind. I feel good making the right call on that one. So, we ordered 350s in order to get the size that we wanted. And it was a huge gamble. Huge. I mean, $120. So I feel good. We got the right ones. But this will be the start of the putting the heads on video. Before I get going on the rest of this, today's October 31st, Halloween. I'd just like to point out, if you celebrate Halloween in any way, shape, or form, you're a piece of shit. It's a satanic holiday. It's a demonic holiday. It is only to spit in God's face. So if you worship on Halloween in any way, shape, or form, stop watching my videos. I don't want to be around you. All right, we got that out of the way. So I went through all these, measured them. The advertised length is 7.350. The shortest one is 366. So that's 16 thousandths bigger than what they advertise. And the largest was 375 basically. Brian Tooley, that's, if they were all wrong but were the same length, then I would hat tip you. But the range was, the variation was ridiculous. 66, 67, 68, 74. Like, I'm going to have to leave a bad review on Summit. The only reason I bought them is because I read so many other reviews saying, hey, you know, this is way off. I couldn't commit to the 375s because if it's 16 bigger, that put me at the factory length of just about 400, 7.400. This is going to work, but this is bullcrap. Brian Tooley, this is what crushed American manufacturing. Americans used to take pride in what they did. Americans used to be the best. And this kind of variation on something like this is absolutely unacceptable. So yeah, I'm going to support him here. I mean, I spent my $120 already. And I have really been, from my heart, I have been pulling for him. But to measure it myself and it's like to really process it, like, man, he made these things that inaccurate and put them out there. That's just basically spitting in Americans' face. Like, just take it and deal with it. Stuff from China comes in better than that. And I'm not in the mood to accept mediocrity from Americans any longer. So Brian Tooley, you need to get your shit together or need to get out of here. 24 thousandths bigger than advertised. I can't believe it, man. I'm so pissed off at Brian Tooley. Well, now that we have them, I'm going to spray them all out with brake cleaner. Because I'm sure there's crap in there. I don't trust him now at all. And I already charged this up. We're going to spray them all out. Make sure there's no crap in there. Man, I'm pissed. I was really pulling for that guy, man. I've rotated the cylinders a few times, the pistons. We're going to throw this in the piston to check the valve clearance. So I didn't really read anything about this. So I'm just going to, I guess, put some strips. I've seen a few videos a long time ago where they were measuring. That's kind of weird. That's not what I expected. I don't want to read that. I mean, I think it's good. It's just I expected to see some lines here. Either way, I mean, there's clearance. I think I'm going to throw the head on there again and just crank it over a few more times. I think that's correct. It just doesn't make sense to me, given the geometry of the head. So I'm not going to get on camera. Doing this camera thing, man, I hate it. I really hate it. If there's something to talk about, I'll grab the camera. How about that? All right, I redid it. Moved the clay around. Torqued down the rocker arms. You can see the lines, but it's plenty. It's plenty of clearance. I think we're good to go, man. Hold on. Yeah, I ran it at least 3 revolutions. Like the piston came up at least 3 times. All right. I'm going to call that good. Heads are ready to go on. All right. I had to be extra sure that everything was good to go. So I just put the head back on, put all the nuts on, 2 push rods, and I wanted to check the clearance here, piston to valve clearance, and the push rod length. And what I got was at 0 lash, it made just shy of 1 full revolution before it was torqued. And that's absolutely perfect. My only concern is that one push rod that's like 5 or 6 longer than the other ones. Oh, wow. Whoops. But this, I will sleep good at night with that report. There's no piston to valve clearance issue. There's something else. I guess basically we're just going to throw on the heads. It's a long time coming. I'm very comfortable with that. And I think this is smashing because it's the top of the head. Like the quench area. I think that's normal. I hope. I don't see any valves cutting through that clay and getting close to the piston. So when we rev it up, I think we're going to be okay. All right. So I'm going through this, pulling off all the tape. I cleaned it out. You know, there's overspray on it. Brake cleaner, you know, just getting it clean and ready. I said, oh, let me go check those, what I thought were intake bolts. But then I found these intake bolts in the intake bag. Oops, bag. In the intake box with all the intake stuff. So, all that to say, I have no earthly idea where these go. They don't fit in there. There's literally nowhere else. And they're in good shape, so it doesn't seem like they were up against heat. Yeah, that's rubber, and it's still pliable. So, I've got like a couple concerns. I might need to replace these, return them. Because they're like $30 or $40 each box of, or each one of these containers is like 40 or 50, 30 to 50, depending on what it was. And I'm sure there's like a limit on how long you can have something before you return it. But this has me greatly concerned. How in the world would that be called intake if it doesn't fit? Well, they're not water pump. I do not remember buying water pump bolts and putting them back here. So we can mark that off the list. That's good. Man, I'm glad I checked because I thought these were water pump. This is just bonkers, man. But I'm glad to know I do have the water pump bolts. I know I talked about it, but I literally don't remember buying them. And I had already put them back here. I must have bought them on an earlier tranche. I want to go back and watch that video. I remember specifically how hard it was. I was with a decent sized ratchet. I was literally pulling up with at least 100 or 150 pounds of pressure. It was ridiculous. I'm just glad the bolt didn't break. All right, so if you guys can time travel and figure out what these are and let me know before I waste too much time tracking down what it's supposed to be. And of course it doesn't say what it is. I wrote it down. When I go upstairs and call it a night, I'm going to look it up on their website. But they're not matching with anything I have. This is really weird. Finally found out what's going on with these intake bolts. Buried way down in the description in the fine print, literally. It's for a GM Performance manifold. Long story short, I figured everything out and I'm going to return them. And it's costing me $13. Those were $37 before tax and shipping. I'm losing a third of that just to return them. I think that's absurd. It does not cost $13 to ship those. So I've got the packing slip. I'm gonna have to find a box and tape it, and I'll take it to a UPS store. But that's the deal with those. Since we're on the topic, let me see here. So these bolts, the ones that I had in a bag called intake, I was actually able to force it down in there. So these are the actual intake bolts. And the rubber's thankfully in pretty good condition. So I'm not sure, I haven't thought about it. This is a whole separate day. They actually do fit. And there's not a lot of pressure on them, so I'm not really worried about them breaking like I am my water pump or the head. So we might end up using these because these are in good shape. The rubber is in good condition, surprisingly. But anyway, I'm going to have to run that thing up there to the UPS store. I got to track down where it's at. But that's what's going on with those ARP not intake bolts. Crank position sensor, 50 bucks. Knock sensor, 50 bucks. Oh yeah, they were on clearance, so I bought one for the initial oil change. It was like $2 or $3. Oh, it's something for the taillights on the Suburban. Dude, look at this bull crap, man. Made in China. Delphi. I spent extra money for American companies to not buy foreign, and it's made in China. This is like the second or third time. Dude, this is getting ridiculous, man. All right. Rock Auto. I actually don't know what's in here. Actually, wait. I did read this. It says returns. So this is probably my... Yeah, I was right. They did send a whole new package. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the valve cover. I did tell them it was only one single one, but they sent the whole thing. I just cannot remember what this is. It's going. Oh, dipstick. Well, there we go. No messing around with that broken one that the idiots broke. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's got that new dipstick smell. Came with new O-rings. Oh, and that's another thing I got was an O-ring for the oil fill. Man, this is horrible. This is genuine GM made in Canada. Don't get me wrong, it's not quite as bad as China, but not much. Not by much. They're as communist as China. Man, I have gone out of my way. I've spent a lot of extra money to make sure I didn't have Chinese parts on this. And I have Chinese parts, and I knew it was going to have Canadian. But it's literally impossible. I can't even buy GM genuine without having Chinese. In case I didn't put in the video, I think I did. Made in China. Alert! A part was found to be made in the USA. Alert! Alert! Now if it Turns out anything like Brian Tooley, that's no longer a good thing. Oil filler, oil drain plug. Not sure what that is. Oh, here are the cheap oil filters. GM Genuine, probably made in China. Okay, so that Felpro, not Felpro, Fram, what the heck was it? Yeah, that Fram, that was for after I do the 2 initial oil changes. These are the cheap ones. We'll do 20 or 30 minutes on this one, change the oil, do a couple thousand on that one, change the oil, and put the synthetic in on the 3rd time. I know what this is. This is another I bought because they were so cheap. I wasn't sure which one was gonna work, so I bought both for the oil drain plug. There's a Felpro and a Mall, so we're covered. I know this is very invigorating to watch this, but I am dragging my feet. The cylinder heads are so, oh yeah, that's nice. I'm really dragging my feet to put the cylinder heads on. I don't know why. I'm hesitant for some reason. So I'll think of something else to do before we get to them. I figured this out. This is for the Suburban engine now, which I don't even know if I want to be putting that many more miles on it. Because I do an oil change every 5,000 with synthetic, and it's going to be at least another 2,000 before it calls for one. So I don't know what I was thinking. I won't drive 2,000 miles on the 350 that's in there now before we pull it out. So I'm not sure why I bought this. So you look at the size difference. That's how I know. This is for the current one. That's for the new one. Man, that is so small. All right, it's not really worthy of a video, but I do want to throw it in the video, kind of summarize what I'm doing. I'm going through and doing a final cleaning. I'm not going to do this last part tonight, but what I'm going to do is wipe out the cylinders, reapply it with oil, and that will be the oil that's in there until we fire it up. So, but I am cleaning it every time I take it out of the bag because it attracts dust like crazy. Another thing is I'm wiping these off. I mean, I've cleaned it probably 10 times, and look at the stuff that still comes off of it. It's crazy. I checked the valves to make sure they weren't rusting anymore. Oh, and I doubt anybody saw it, but in a couple videos back, I found the valves, the valve seats were rusting. I took measures to try to stop it, but then I got thinking, once the engine fires up, it will probably burn that rust out. So it was only the exhaust ports too. I forgot to mention that in the video. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm getting everything ready. Cleaning it. Oh, and here's another thing I wanted to throw in there. I was reading the instructions for the ARP studs. I don't know if it's a must, but they said it in the instructions. So I went ahead and took some brake cleaner to these because they want no lubrication at all between the washer and the head. So I stuck my... It was hard, but I got down in there with some brake cleaner and a brush and a paper towel and just made sure those, I don't know what you call it, wherever the washer sits on top of the head, these were easy to get to. But there should be no lubrication at all. And I don't even know if I'm going to get it on video, me putting the heads on. I'm really apprehensive about doing it on camera, because the camera always messes things up for some reason. But I think I'm just going to put the ARP lubricant on while I put on the nut. It just needs to be on the bottom of the nut. That way I don't get it down there on the washer. But it's a little bit late tonight. Like I said, I'm apprehensive about doing the heads. I'll probably wait till Saturday so I can take all day and just take my time. I'm at least doing everything I possibly can to get them ready, because that's the next thing. I mean, it's waiting on me. Speaking of which, I didn't get this on camera because it's pretty boring, but I did clean the heck out of these valve covers and sanded them down, cleaned them up, and then painted them. I had to go to Advanced Auto today to get some paint, some real paint, because the this brand Duplicolor, it just went crazy. So I'll never buy that again. So $13 can of paint, looks good. 3 coats of enamel. And I'm probably not even gonna put a clear coat on it because the clear coat is that same brand. Oh, well, that's what that was. That's the clear coat, Duplicolor. So I'm done with that brand. I might as well just throw it in the trash. I'm kind of hesitant because I'm thinking maybe if there's something on the rear end that doesn't matter what it looks like, but it would be nice to have a sealant, then I can possibly use it for that. But that's where we're at. I'm going to do the passenger side head, and they're literally ready to go. I could technically do it right now if I wanted to, but I want to have more time, and it's getting late. So I'll probably wait till Saturday where I have all day. I can just take my time, torque them all. If there's a problem, I can address it. But once these heads go on, I mean, it's 80% done. We'll see. Alrighty, I want to mention something. I read about it, but I was already going to do it anyway. Somebody recommended to just hit them after you do the 3rd stage. Just go down the line and double check, and I'm glad I did. Somehow, this was still at 60 when it was supposed to be at 90. That's what I wanted to say. We did 3 stages, 30, 60, and 90. And boy, it's a workout, man. I'm sweating. It's a workout. Half the problem is you're trying to hold the stand steady, but it's done. The first head is done. And the reason that I think it's such a high poundage is that it's ARP 2000s. Those are like the strongest that I can find, other than those that you can't touch with your hand. Like 2JZs have them, but you literally can't touch it with your hand or it corrodes somehow. But this is the top of the line, and that's why they're 90 pounds. Now I'm just going to throw the little ones in there. I don't know. I don't think I got much video of it because it's really boring and it's hard to see what I'm doing. I greased with ARP Ultra Torque very liberally the stud threads and the top of the washer. Not the bottom serrated side of the washer, but the top side. And it was pretty painful getting in there. I wouldn't say painful. It was a pain there. That's brilliant. All right, I'm going to throw those little ones on there and probably jump on the second one. All right, let's get a last look at these pistons. Hopefully we never see them again. Yeah, I didn't really cover the Cometic head gasket very much, but that's a Cometic MLS 51 thousandths compressed. Hope everything holds out. Time to drop her on there. I'm gonna hate having to edit all this. Boom, baby. Major step. Major step. These are 317 heads on a formerly 6-liter engine. It's stroked out to 6.6 liters, which is 402 cubic inches, 4-inch bore, 4-inch stroke, 71cc heads, which are the lowest horsepower of the LS family, but are the most preferable for running boost. They are ARP 2000 studs that cost $450. $450. This entire motor, despite all the things missing, despite stuff broken, the engine, the harness, the computer, all of it cost me $900. And just the head studs were $450. That sucks. I've got well over $1,000 just in fasteners on this thing. Just what's sitting here. Not counting all the other stuff that's not even on there yet. I think it's going to look banging. Yeah, actually what I'm going to do, since I got the camera, and y'all have waited, if you've seen any of these videos, it's painfully slow. So you've earned it. I'm gonna throw the valve covers on. Those puppies, they've had at least 24 hours of dry. And I'm gonna throw the intake. We're gonna get an idea what this motor's gonna look like sitting in the car. 30, 60, and 90 pounds for the ARP. 30, 60, 90. The inside is 28. Oh man, look at this. That looks better than I thought it would. But I did immediately saw a problem. Because that paint was so bad, it'll probably show up in the camera, but this is like yellow. It's like a pearl instead of that. I'm not sure. It's going to be mostly covered up, so I probably won't mess with it. But that sucks. I spent a lot of time to do this the right way, and the company let me down. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Oh, it's right here. Duplicolor. Boycott Duplicolor. Oh, I just noticed. That's the same brand, and I haven't even opened this. Oh, man. Anyway, back to this thing. I think that looks good. I think that looks really good. And now I can throw the exhaust up here and make sure the studs aren't going to be in the way. That's literally the least of my concerns, though. Whew! Well, it's looking like something now. It's only taken about 6 years. No, I'm not. I knew I wouldn't rush, and I'm glad I actually didn't. That was hard for me because I'm a person that wants it done right now, and I made myself take my time on this. Well, looks good to me. Yeah, you can tell the white versus the yellow. It's like grimy teeth. All right. It looks really good. I'm a little disappointed with the yellowing, but that's going to be down in a vehicle. Nobody's ever going to see it. Only you and I will know, which will bother me. But there's going to be so much junk all over it. It's going to get the point across. And I hit this with a buffer real quick. Man, it's shiny. You might be able to see the reflection. Yeah, look at that reflection. So I'm going to end the video here. This is a heads video. It'll probably take me 3 hours to fast forward through all that stuff. But I have a new computer. Mac Mini M4 Pro. Got 24 gigs of RAM. So that's going to process a lot faster. And that'll be my first edit on the new computer. Took me half a day to figure out how to get all the effects and everything off the old laptop onto the little Mini. It's literally like 3 or 4 inches by 3 or 4 inches. Anyway, back to the beautiful lady here. I think it looks good. Get off there. Stupid fly. I can't think if there's anything else I was going to say. So I'll probably just end it here. It's a heads video. 317 heads on a 6 liter that has become a 6.6 liter. Yeah, there's nothing else to say on the matter. Yes, we have a ton more to do. This is by no means done, but the long block is almost done. Just have some gaskets to do. No, it's far from over, but the heart and soul of it is intact. So I'll see you on the next video.